I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA Review. Today is Friday, August 9th, 2024. Hope you had a good day and a good week today. So to make this pretty short, I'm trying to not make long videos, but I did like more coming up on the top side still to wipe out some of this liquidity, as you can see with this daily imbalance I was mentioning yesterday, August 2nd, Friday, the last video that I did not make. When we pushed through, nice imbalance right there. I gave this option here of us coming up a little bit higher and then rolling over, right? And that's one option if we were to come up and just take out this one more leg down. Now remember, there's a second option that I gave yesterday, and which is this. I'll fast forward it to here. You'll see here that it's pretty much basically saying that we're gonna just keep buying up. I don't know why I stopped right there. Yep. So pretty much, well, that was the second option for that option. Let's see here. Yeah, pretty much. So I said we, either come like this. Yeah, let's see here. So yeah, something like that where we would, just buy up from here, basically what I'm saying. And then that was a support, and we don't come for these levels unless what we do is when we wipe this out, we don't wipe this out and we come up first, and then it's the high of the year of 24, right? And then we kind of make our way down, and maybe we go into a recession or crash, right? So that's the only way I see this happening up here and retracing back for these lows if that happens. Otherwise, this is kind of like what's in the picture. But in general speaking, this is what we are generally speaking about right now, which is that, right? So anyways, with that being said, the only reason why I'm saying all that is because I don't expect much of a Friday because of the fact that we don't have any news today. So there's no red folder, number one. Number two, we're pretty much settling out from this big drop and this big push back up. So a lot of points have been offered. Number two. Number three, it's Friday, so that's, I guess, number three. And then sure enough, you get this speaker right here. See that speaker right there? This pretty much told you exactly what was going on today. So for me, I lucked out today. I ended up showing up later. I ended up showing up at like 10:15 or whatever time this candle was. What was this? 10:05, 10:10? Yeah. So, and I'll try to make this simple here. But you'll see that we opened up here. Let me zoom this out a little bit. We opened up here and we pretty much started speakering out. Made a high, made a low. Made another, that's a lower high, made another low. Then boom, we raid up and make another high. Then we come back and make another low. So when I'm ready to start here at, I was actually ready at this 10 o'clock, 10:05. When I'm here, I see this already. And it's like, okay, well, what has not been delivered yet? Well, the top side here. Right. But I don't need to, we've been mentioning it. This is August. We've been mentioning to take it easy, just take simple trades, nothing to really hold, whatever the case is. So with that understanding, and yes, I understand that we have a lot of these gaps in the background, but they don't bother me, but I could see how they would bother someone because they are starting to bother me. And now that this new week's going to close, this purple is going to turn gray as well. So we're going to have a massive gray block right here. So that sucks, but I think they're doing that on purpose. So now that, it's going to get a little confusing here, but we're just going to look at it as a very, very important level because this is going to be just a solid level of gaps where we're going to constantly reference this. And I think we're going to consolidate for this rest of the month, sort of in this sort of speak area. We'll see how it works out, but maybe we're using this as a launching pad to take off. But in general speaking, that being the case, I don't expect much from Friday. And I actually wasn't really going to trade too much of Friday, but understanding that it's the end of the week, and I've already missed a lot. I did trading on the weekend. What did I tell you guys? I tell you all the time. I said every time I'm on a vacation or someone fucking family comes to visit, the market constantly moves majorly. And sure enough, that's what we got. Like I was gone. I was like doing on vacation and telling my family members, I'm in the West Coast for the vacation, and it's like there, California is like 5 p.m. Not 5 p.m. I'm not waking up, at like 5 a.m. just to start looking at the chart. Like I'm not going to do that, So that's why I definitely can't live in the West Coast. But anyways, market moved crazy while that happened. But okay, let's just keep this simple. So I'm a little rambling, but so you can understand what's going on here. Well, I had this high rated, and then I had this low rated. So for me coming in late, you can see the speaker there. You can see on the 15-minute very clear there and there. Right? You can see it. So with that understanding, you can see the midnight level here. You see the opening gap here. All right, and then I have my opening range, and this is all I needed. So let's go into the trade right here. And someone yesterday was like, "Oh, well, why didn't you, show us the trade?" I'm like, "Look, dude, number one, I don't work for you. All right. Number two, I don't need to. It's nice to not having to show it, but if this doesn't help, and me showing you the outline of the trade, I'll show you this trade here now. But it's like, dude, I shouldn't have to. I really shouldn't have to. So here you'll see that. Let me just try to move this over a little bit. So here you can see that when 9:30 here, where was 8:30? So 8:30 here, they come and raid. They come and raid the intraday low, which was at 1 o'clock in the morning today, and they raid the PM session yesterday. Okay. The late PM session at this 3:30, but they don't take out those lows. Okay, fine, no big deal. But you can see here that we're about 50% of this gap in the background. Okay, from here to here. So that's right here, right? That's that level right there. So I'm getting this high. So let me squinch up a little bit. So you can see here, once the price 930 pushes up, all right, and then we almost seal the opening range, but you see this little gap in the background. Look how the bodies are respecting that level right there. See that? So this is literally liquidity already built. All right, so it's like, where do you go from here? If you're asking where you go, well, we already came down and we rated liquidity on the bottom. Well, we know they're greedy. They're going to go to the top side. So the price pushes up right here, right? I'm not even ready. I'm not even trading until this area. I'm looking at the chart until this area right here, 10:05. So equal lows right here. I'm sorry, equal highs right here. Nice liquidity sitting there. They barely tap it and then they run away, but it's pretty much equal. Then they run away. Then so this is I'm looking at this as a higher low, and that's a higher high. And then I'm making a higher low here. And then we're pushing for a higher high. That's how I looked at this price action. So you can see the intermediate higher lows here forming. And then boom, that's that leg here. We stop right there in its tracks. We almost seal it, but we don't seal the opening range. We have all these gaps in the background, so we know it's consolidation time. Shakeout day, speaker day. This is, I'm already literally knowing that this is happening. So sure enough, price shoots down. So this is, let me just do it this way so you can really see it. You're probably like, dude, what are you doing? All right. All right, that's higher low to higher high. I'm looking at all this as the leg, and then boom, on this side of the curve, coming down, 2 drives down. This is the higher low. Look at the bodies respecting the 70. I didn't even use a fib for this. I just understand the way this price looks like. Then what do? We tap the bottom of that gap on the bottom right here. There's a gap right here in the bottom right here. All right, so we're tapping that body, respecting it. This is just the 1 minute. All right. So that being said here, then the price pushes up and it's sitting at the 50% of the opening range. So now I'm looking at the chart. Literally now I'm looking at the chart. Literally for the first time even. So I'm just viewed all the things that we just discussed about. So how do I take this? Well, from here, if you understood that this was a higher low, and take a look here. See how we have almost equal lows here? So this was the issue in my trading today. And that's why I kept it short. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm not messing with these people. But this spooked me a little bit right here, these equal lows here. We'll probably be coming for next week's CPI. But the point is that when I had that and this price just shot off, I said, okay, as soon as the price shot off here, okay, got right to the the midnight level. See the orange level in the background? That's that midnight level. So, and we're pretty much dancing around it, but we run right to it. Plus we have the opening gap, which is this faint red zone right here. That's the opening gap for today. So we're dancing around that too. As soon as we push up, we're coming up to it. I mean, I'm literally in the trade, right? Boom, tag it. So there is the fill there. All right, get filled there. And there's your little arrow or whatever you want to see. And then where am I taking this? My literal level I'm taking this is to the 50% level. Why? Because number one, I'm looking at this market in two ways. Number one, I'm looking at it as a speaker. Number one. Number two, I knew that I'm back on the 15 minute to the bottom left here. I know that it's a speaker. Number two, I know that we are also popping up and we're sitting in the middle of it. So it's the mean, it's the average, it's the center of the actual speaker, right? Just eyeballing, not even, I'm not even needing to do math here. I mean, if you want me to, I can, but if, just the idea is this. I know that we're sitting, when we just tagged it, I know we're sitting at a 61 between a 70 and so on, right? Again, no bias, no real bias, but besides us inching up slowly up to wipe out the imbalance there. So I hope that makes sense. So that being said here, when we're up here and we tag it, I get in. Okay, and where am I coming down to? Well, I know they're greedy and they just pushed up. Why did we come up from here to here? We're only coming up here because we're wiping out people who sold from here. Okay, from this big push down, I'm only taking people out who are selling. Very logical ideas. Plus you have all this imbalance here. Plus when we came up here, we made an equal high, so this was liquidity. So what's above that, when we push up, we take out the liquidity plus the imbalance here, and you understand what's going on. And this could be resistance. I don't know, but eventually I want to come in. I would like to take out these equal highs here, but I don't know if I have it in me to even hold it or to even participate. So I was not that interested in that. So what was this trade here? Remember, I'm starting here, so I'm like, okay, price is here. I'm taking it to the middle, which is now the 50% of the opening range. Works beautiful. And sure enough, if I show you a fib here, you're going to see that this is a higher low to higher high. And I'm just selling this down into close to the 50%. And then I get out right here. As soon as we get to this 50%, you can see I get out literally on the 50%. Does come down a little bit. I get literally my exit is that level of the opening range now, but the goal is to come here. Now I knew it could have come lower, and I actually told myself I should hold this trade, but I don't know if this is going to be literal support here and then shoot up for the top highs to complete the speaker, right? My goal is to complete the speaker, but I'm not going to hang around. I mean, it's Friday. I'm not hanging around, first of all. So, number one, I had a late start and I wanted to be done early. And sure enough, it was beautiful. So, what did it do? Took out the trade there. Price came down, came to a 79. And it's also hitting these two down candles right here. As soon as it tagged these two down candles, and I was at a 60, at a 70. I had pushed a button. Plus, I have the opening of today's price at 9:30. So as soon as that price hit there, I was already in, and I ended up getting filled right there. Now, I got in too early. I got in too early in this trade, but I don't care because I know what's happening here. So I had to face a little bit of drawdown, almost $1,500 a drawdown right here. But I knew that we would stop on our tracks here. Why? Because I've already got order flow at this point. If you take a look here, you can see. If I do this for you here, if I do this, you're going to see it very clear. I mean, I'm sure you can see it now, but this is how I'm seeing it. And what we're doing, making a new high. And I'm going to even squinch this out. All right, I'm not even going to keep going. I mean, take a look. You see that, right? You see that? Can you see that? That's as clean as it gets. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, all the way till we reach that top, which is where we are playing around now. So this is how I was seeing it, and this is how you should see it as well. It was clean. But yes, on this side of the curve, yeah, those higher low to higher high, and then they came and wiped out the majority of that liquidity. Yeah, but that's the structure of how it works. Sure enough here, very clean structure, pushed up, retraced back here. I get into an early fill. Shitting bricks for a hot second. The only reason why I was saying I was shitting bricks a little bit was because of these equal lows. I was like, did they, if you look back on the 15-minute, this speaker, are they not going to complete this? And this was the medium of the speaker, and we were just going to shoot down. And I was afraid of that situation. But my understanding of us coming up a little higher to seal some of this price of the breakout artists and in balance, that was more important. And sure enough, it did pan out. So also if you look to the left here, where can I show you? On the 1 hour, when we were popping up here, look to the left here. We want to wipe out this liquidity here and all that. So I won't get into that. I want to make this short, 16 minutes. So anyways, that being said here, price does hold, and then sure enough, I'm going to delete this just so you see this. Yeah, I'm going to delete this. So now that we're here, the bodies are telling the story for this day. But if you take a look here, you also have all these wicks popping up here, nice and clean, and then shooting off. So when I took this trade, where was I taking this trade? Now, I wanted to hold it for this high. I did. And I would have been right if I did. But each trade was 65 points to 70 points. I mean, for me, that's $500 to $5,500 each trade. So it was a total of 2 trades. I've only took 2 trades today. As you see, there's nothing left or right. But I only took 2 trades, and each one was worth $5,000, a little bit over. So I made well over 10 grand today. And sure enough, I mean, that's good enough for me. So what did I do? I played it smooth, and I said, let me just take this trade to take liquidity out, which you see there's a swing high here. And then I wiped out liquidity. And plus, when I bought in here, I waited for 3 drives. So 1, 2, 3 with that pop up all the way here. You can see where I get out right there. I was taking this to the gap in the background here. You see that gap in the background? All right, that same gap in the background. And then I waited for 3 drives to get to it. So this candle 1, which is just 1046. Then this 1047. This 1048 was equal with 1047. So I'm not even going to look at that. And then boom, this 1049 pushes up. We tag that gap nicely. I'm like, beautiful, close it. And then I end up exiting right there. So I don't need to show you my trades when I do these little long or short trades, okay? But for the guy who messaged me complaining, like I don't owe you guys anything. Please understand that. So, that being said, dude, I love peace when I don't have to constantly show trades. Like, I'll just do this like this and it's fine, bro. Like, it's no big deal. But anyways, that was the purpose of me getting it out here. I don't know if it was going to continue back down, right? I really don't know at this point, but I was right. I was still right. And should I have trusted my analysis? Yes, but I wanted to be done. I took the two trades profit and have a nice fucking day. Nice week. And what did it do? Once we tagged again that open level, the midnight level, and we took that high out, what did we do? We retraced back slowly for another higher low versus that higher low, right? And sure enough, we're in that little gap in the background. It's also respecting. I won't get into that. And then we shot up. Look at this nice push hard just to get to wipe out this liquidity that we built here. Even to the left here, if you look at the chart here, you can see that we blew through here and here, and then we wiped out liquidity. That's why it's real strong right there. And then we consolidated for a second, and then we did a final push to wipe out that. And this was my final target, and I was going to hold this trade that I took from the bottom here. I was going to hold it and come all the way up. My analysis was right, but I played it safe, and it could have fizzled out. And as you can see, Friday they kind of they kind of sucked on as far as the delivery side. But you know, you can still catch phenomenal trades and profit in this simple ideas that I gave. I sold it down to here because this is the middle of a range and people were buying up here. So it's very logical and they're greedy to come down and wipe them out. And then from here, I'm pushing up because it's very logical and take it out here. It's logical for them, for the late sellers to catch it from here and come down and to wipe out some early or later sellers. And this is just very logical price action. I mean, the more you do this, obviously, the easier it's going to get, right? I have now talked way too long. Let me show you this as well. And as you can see, the bodies just gave it away. Take a look. The bodies just gave it away. Look at the 5 minute especially. See that right there? This is also what was, guiding me through my analysis as well. So I should have trusted it, but I mean, at the same time, I wasn't trying to get caught with my pants down. Take a look. When I took this buy here and I didn't hold it for here. Okay, well, I could have kept holding it for this high, but to suffer all this, and then if it risked taking me out because of these lows, it wasn't worth it to me. But I know I should have held it for this high. But I took the safe route and just took it out right here. So that being the case, beautiful day as far as if you had the understanding of it being a shakeout day. You also had lower lows here with Dow, and we had higher lows with NAS and S&P, and that is what was also the confirmation for me holding my bias of us slowly inching up direction, right? So there's that, and dollar was literally not helpful at all. As you can see, we're just still playing around here, and I don't know what's going to happen with CPI tomorrow. It's going to shoot a direction. I'm assuming that we're going to be shooting down with dollar, or they possibly could shoot up because of they wanting to wipe out, early sellers here for other assets, or in that case, buyers. So with CPI, let me just take a look at Dow. Very similar price action. Friday was just a shakeout day and just stalled. So there's that, and they all did the same thing. I was mentioning us inching up a little bit higher to wipe out some of that liquidity, like I mentioned in the video yesterday. So watch that so it makes sense, and that's where we're at. I mean, this is a pretty nasty wick for a weekly close like this. CPI can, to be honest with you, I'm neutral. I mean, CPI can literally push it off hard from here, or it could literally push down from here, and this is a rising wedge. And if you take a look, when I say rising wedge, that's just, the rising wedge is pretty much the wick of the weekly candle. Take a look at that, and then you take a look at all these rising wedges. They're all just a weekly wick reverse. And then once it retraces, once it starts pushing back down, that's the body of the weekly candle. So for this weekly here, I mean, we've came in and we've wiped out that liquidity. So, I mean, technically, there is no real reason to come back down right now if we're in a normal market or bullish. But because of what's going on and with the possible WAR across, overseas and this and that, you don't know, but this is going to be a shaky month to begin with. I mean, literally the month of August is a speaker in itself. All right, so that means we have an origin and we have a high, we become low, then we come high, and then and then we eventually bust out to the top side. But do we? The 15 year shows that in the later part of this month that we will come back and take out this low. And before we go up, and that's why I gave you that option in the previous video. The 30 year shows that we make a higher low and a higher high here, and a higher high and a higher low here, and we start popping up through. So that's in the normal markets. So do we get the recession situation next month and end up pushing down? I don't know. So anyways, I think I've said enough. I don't really know. This is where the videos get too long, I think, on my purpose. And then as far as NVIDIA goes, pretty much didn't really go anywhere either. So, yeah. So you guys know what to do. You guys take care, and until next week, God bless.